Hello, 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 and welcome to the show. This is Wrestling with Entertainment, bringing you exclusive news, breaking the rumor and innuendo, previewing the latest shows, and having all our predictions fall through with review shows every Saturday on YouTube and Castbox. I'm your host, James J. As always, with me, my co-host, is he a fruit or a vegetable? Kuliko Yachts.
I'm gonna say I'm a vegetable. What up, though?
Next up, my next co-host, the birthday boy, is he dust busted or remixed? Scooter Dust.
Hey, what's up?
And is he alive or is he dead? Mitch Mayhem.
This is my third show back. Give me some respect. Come on now. What's up, everybody?
Give us a 20.
But I do have to say, you have been consistent.
Thank you.
Yeah, what happened?
Shit
And
happened. We talked about this.
he only comes for the AEW shows, and I highly doubt
Oh,
if
yeah.
AEW wasn't tomorrow, today as we speak, that he would not be here. That's what I'm saying.
Need to make a pill
I
for
told
that.
you he's like the Santa Claus, but I think that's gonna help us because once AEW becomes weekly, he'll be here every week.
Right.
But James, have you not heard anything I said this in the last time in the freaking show before that?
No,
I
we all
said
just kinda
no. In
tuned
fact,
out.
I shut up. Yeah, obviously. I only wanted AEW here to change what they've changed, and that's to pay for the boys and to push WWE into the creative direction that they are now, to one up their game for Vince to finally be like, all right, I need to have someone help me and do things like that. AEW pushed them to that point, and I said WCW did the same thing. WWE didn't, when they were WWF, didn't do shit until WCW came along. This is the same thing, and that's all I said. And now you guys are inflating it out of control. In fact, yeah, I like AEW, but still, I believe the updated WWE product with the new creative going along in the last month or so is better than so far than what I've seen out of AEW. But I hope I'm wrong and that I see better tomorrow
You know, Mitch,
out
when
of all.
when it stops
Hold
bothering you, we'll stop bringing it up.
Okay.
And Scooter wasn't on the show last week. He was getting his passport ready so he could compete in next year's G1. How's that going, Scooter?
It's going good. I'm trading. Just got myself 3 big boxes of smokes. So, yeah, those are gonna be good. Sleeping under my Captain America shield blanket. You
I mean,
know,
it's a 12-hour flight.
I'm sitting around on my ass. So I should be a surefire winner.
Yep. And like I said, it's Scooter's birthday, so me, Mitch, and Scooter will try our best to sing a
13 hours.
happy birthday song to you. In 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday.
Boats and hoes! Boats and hoes! Who's gonna get some boats and hoes?
Oh my god.
Happy birthday to you. See, that's like 3 different birthday songs.
Yeah.
And
not
you got
a single harmony among ya.
Exactly.
You know I can sing. I wasn't trying. God, you know I got a tune.
You know, my
no,
dreams of
thank you,
having a
boys, I
bubble
appreciate it.
shop quartet has just died on this show today.
Hello,
As
hello.
the killers say, I got soul, but I'm not a soldier.
Hello.
Alright, everybody. Last week we talked about AEW, WWE UK, NXT takeover, and the 50 out of million words they call that one. And New Japan Royal Quest. And as we speak, those shows are going on and have already concluded. But we haven't seen them yet. So we're going to do a little something new and different, something like an open forum. But before we get to that, we are wrestling with the Dust Storm with Scooter Dust. Apparently,
Uh,
you have some exclusive news for us, Scooter.
yes, I
You
do.
give me
All right.
second.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this news broke somewhat last week. However, it kind of fell by the wayside. And the fact remains that I think there is nobody more appropriate than me to deliver this bit of breaking news. And that is the WWE is partnering with Endeavor Audio to create their first primary audio entertainment studio to launch a brand new WWE podcast network.
Yeah.
So
I
does
saw
that
this
mean
coming in for a while. Yeah, that's good.
we need to put our resumes in? That's all I'm
I know.
asking.
Yeah.
I know. I wish, man.
The bigger news. Actually, there's a couple of things. But the bigger news is that, yes, the remix, and it's coming back as the remix, officially comes back on October 2nd
Awesome.
with the launch of AEW and NXT on USA. Format still being discussed. However, a brand new Twitter has popped up called WWE WWE on UNB. And
Ooh.
you can follow that for breaking news mostly every day. We were the first to break about Finn Balor's marriage, but we're going to be going into the news. And Mitchie, I might have an opportunity for you,
All right, bud.
but
We'll talk off the air.
the fact remains is that you may very well be hearing the remix on the WWE Podcast Network, and I'm not going to say any more.
Ooh.
So does that mean I need to give them my connect instead of getting tickets to get a job?
No. Still keep your connect. I mean, I don't know what connect you are talking about.
Do
Hush,
I
hush,
need to
wink,
put
wink,
in my
say what?
resume to you, Scooter?
Oh no, I'm not going to be anybody's boss.
Well,
I mean, it's
But
more
I will. But I
supply
will be.
chain hierarchy.
I will be holding auditions for furniture.
You would try to use me as the couch, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'm furniture though.
Well,
I mean, I make a great shading bit of furniture.
The
got-
talking couch.
Well,
Mitch,
you
you've
know,
got more blotches on you than a Jackson Pollock painting.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. I love you too, Scooter.
But yes, that it's the complete relaunch with Raw, with NXT and AEW in possibly an alternating format. SmackDown on Fridays, and given some recent developments, the SmackDown launch might be put off for a week. Don't know yet, but this
That's awesome, dude.
yeah,
Whew.
this is potentially big and career making.
Game changing for a lot of people and for the social environment of wrestling fans everywhere on the internet.
I think it's changed for the whole podcast landscape as well.
That podcast wrestling, everything, one in one, yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, you can say, if hopefully the one day I am on there, you heard me here first.
Alrighty.
all right. Well, that is exceptionally big news. Because, we've only been on, this podcast has only been on since January. Really March with this setup between me, Kaliko, Mitch,
Oh, wait, I
and now
wait.
what?
I forgot to mention. I apologize for interrupting, but you didn't think I would. You didn't think I would take you guys with me, did you?
I was waiting for it. I knew you were gonna do that shit. I called it. Oh, I knew it.
I could get my connect to make sure it's like
He
for
always
show.
does that. I knew it.
You're not invited to our meetup now.
No, I'm saying I wouldn't.
He
forget
loves
to take
doing
you
that.
guys with-
Yeah.
I wouldn't forget
He
to take you
loves
guys with
doing
me.
I mean,
No, but you like building up a crescendo of like a silence building, and then oh, by the way, boom. And
Yeah.
you like
It's
that.
called acting.
no, it's called being a heel.
Or being a dick. No.
Well, being a dick is
I'm
called
joking.
being a heel.
And can be entertaining if done
Coming
right.
out of the box, motherfucker.
Yeah, that
Like a
news
dick
was
in
out
a
of the
box.
Why do we both think of that?
Because we got weirdly similar minds.
But like I said, doing this podcast with you guys have been awesome. And I never thought that, this would be something big, and having such big news from one of our co-hosts.
Yeah, I always knew
Yeah.
he had potential greatness. We all do, so that doesn't
No.
surprise
I mean,
me.
that's probably like the biggest news ever on this
Yeah.
damn thing.
Yeah,
I mean, not to toot my own horn, but in the prime of the show was big. It was over in one time. My highest number of listeners was over 250,000, and I had everybody listening from Mick Foley to celebrities like Ellen Page.
We didn't have that many when I was on in the beginning, did we?
Different format.
Okay.
You were not part of the audio.com days
and
for the most part.
and the one episode that me and Kaliko was a part of broke all those records because we're over.
Oh no, I'm giving Scooter all this. Like I'm the Pip and he's Gladys Knight. How about that?
I showed up for a non-existent SummerSlam show thinking you guys would be there.
No, actually, Scooter told me that he wasn't doing a SummerSlam slam
I
show.
know. I just like
So
after
that
I
was on
like.
you, man.
Well, it was after the situation I had where I wasn't on a streak of shows, and so just wanted to come back and talk to everyone and say hi, and I didn't know, so I found out the hard way.
Yep.
No
So
big deal.
we will
All right.
talk further about that development on another show, and soon, and hopefully soon. The remix coming back, that's big news.
Mm-hmm.
So now we are wrestling with what are we wrestling with, guys? Because we are wrestling with an open forum because a lot of things are happening, but like we covered most of what's happening last week on the show.
So is it anywhere? Balls count anywhere?
It's false count anywhere. Anything goes. No holds barred. Extreme death match of death.
That's our show, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I'll start the open forum. I heard actually right after we did the podcast last week, Hey, that the AEW All Out show, the match between Riho and Hikaru Shida is actually the second part of the women's championship #1 contenders match. So whoever wins the Riho Hikaru Shida match and the women's casino battle royal will wrestle on
Right.
TNT AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite. So does that change anything that of our predictions from last week?
Let's see. What was I gonna change? Oh, what did I do on the Kenny match with Kenny and Dean? I went with Dean, I think. So I'm gonna go to Kenny.
You went with Pac. He's wrestling Pac now.
No, I didn't. No, I did not go with Pac. I went with Kenny. You guys went with Pac. You guys went with Pac. I promise. I promise. I remember it.
When you go to see the Kota Ibushi match, you could the Kota Ibushi thing. You could look for that as well.
Well, Mitch, do you want to tell them
What?
that I proved you right on one thing?
Dude, I'm not trying to sound cocky, but I don't have to prove anyone that I know things that I know.
No, but I went.
But you can go ahead.
I went and watched WrestleMania 6, and yes, Gorilla Monsoon does in fact refer to Brutus Beefcake as Brutai.
And then I went and watched WrestleMania 4, and he said it 6 more times, just to double check. Double check my references to make sure I was right. Yeah, I knew I was, but I just wanted to make sure. So I try when I talk like that. When I'm like, no, I'm sure that I have like an affirmation in the back of my head.
Actually, I'm entirely kidding, and Mitch is just making this up off the top of his head.
I watched it last night, so you can't be.
So
Nice try.
back to the women's match. We're pretty sure that Riho's gonna win that match. But does that change who we think about who's gonna win the women's casino battle royal as well?
No,
I still think it's going to be someone unannounced.
Britt Baker.
I think it's going to be someone that hasn't been announced yet. There's 10 to 11 open spots.
It's going to be Brandy Rhodes or Kong.
I was going to say Kong, or it's going to be Kong or someone unannounced. I said Kong last week, I said both.
I can see that to create the tension early, but I'm thinking considering this is the first women's title, I think Britt Baker would be a good representative.
I can't. Yeah, it's either Kong or an unannounced opponent. So,
well,
if it's an announced opponent, it's Kong. If it's an unannounced, yeah.
The thing that gets me is because obviously Riho's gonna win that match. What's your favorite fruit, Kaliko? But the Riho is a babyface, so it would have to make sense that the Casino Battle Royal winner would be a heel, which makes me think maybe it's not going to be Britt Baker.
Okay, I'll be right back, guys.
And the only reason I'm going with that is because the first person that they signed to the women's division and they had come out in their little like pom-pom press conference was Britt Baker. So that's the whole reason I think they're building it.
Yeah, but that's a social ambassador. Doesn't mean that that's the one they're going with female-wise. Like I still think they either have someone dark horse-wise waiting in the wings to be exposed on All Out, or I think they're going to go with Kong. And Kong is a mainstream. She's in Glow. Why wouldn't they go with her?
I get that, but considering that like Britt Baker is the wife of the hottest wrestler in NXT, I would think they would build.
And nepotism, that's one reason why you might be right, but I don't like it. I'm not a big Britt Baker fan. I don't hate her. I'm just not a big fan.
I could appreciate that.
Watch it be Tennille Dashwood.
God, I hope
I
not.
wouldn't be against that. I wouldn't be against that.
Neil Dashwood, I would fucking cut backflips because that girl is the most underrated wrestler of this fucking generation.
I said I wouldn't be mad at that. She's hot as hell, and she's one of the best wrestlers. Underrated as hell. Full package.
Underrated.
The thing
full
that
package.
The pushback with like an Awesome Kong or a Brandy Rhodes like being the first champion is that more or less Chris Jericho is going to win the championship. It just makes logical sense, and he's a heel. So, and then you have the women's championship opportunity. Are they going to give
I'm
that
sticking
to
with my
another heel? It's just going to be an all-heel championship quartet.
That's why I'm going with Hangman. I went with Hangman, and I'm sticking with it. Trust me, long ago, we were talking about this, and I was leaning on Jericho because you go back. No, yeah, exactly. No, I was saying it makes sense because of his name. You want to launch the show on TNT with someone like him as your champ. But if they want to build another name to that kind of level, you put the title on. What good is it putting the title on him? And unless it's to build the AEW title's name, not build Jericho. To build someone with the title, it's putting it on someone else and rising them up with a Jericho victory over Jericho. So I'm going to go with Hangman, and I think their nepotism is just as hard as the McMahon's is. Cody admitted it. So
right. And he just did an Q&A yesterday, and I find it funny that his mother told him it's too much blood. And he was like, well, too bad, because that's what I'm doing. That's what I like doing.
It's performance art.
It's true.
Well, I have to agree with Mitch here, unfortunately, because I would think Hangman Page. Because I look at what they did with their first press conference, and the people that they brought out first, to me, screams championship potential.
Yeah, but I still, like I said, I still think they got people waiting in the back. I believe Scooter talked about possibly Johnny Nitro or John, all the names he has, possibly going to WWE. I think he's going to AEW. He was on Being the Elite, him and Taya. So them, Jack Hager, former Jack Swagger, Jake Hager, I mean. There's a lot of others, too, that could show up there. So,
But Hager's relationship with the WWE is actually still pretty good, given what they've done with him in R-Truth.
but so is his relationship with Cody and the boy, and it's not above him to. He's already gone to Lucha and other, Impact and everything. I don't see anything holding him back. So,
Scooter, you wasn't here for the preview show last week. So, who are you going with? Hangman or Jericho?
Like, honestly, you said there's, it makes more sense to go into your TV debut with a name, with an established name holding the title. You've seen the promos for AEW on TNT, which, by the way, they still haven't officially called it Wednesday Night Dynamite.
Given it a name. Yeah, it's just AEW.
I
had noticed that too.
It's that Chris Jericho is one of the final two people you see.
Him and Moxley usually, or him and Omega.
Yeah. I would go with Jericho.
Something in my veins tells me Hangman.
Like if they don't do anything between now and that show, I would almost
be right back, guys.
guarantee that Jericho drops it on that first night.
You think Jericho is going to drop it? Well, the third episode of the show is going to have a AEW title match, so you think he's going to drop it immediately?
yes, I think they're gonna want to do something historic, something groundbreaking. You know, the fact that Monday Night Raw didn't have a championship change hands till 5 months after it happened, and it didn't have its first world title championship change hands on Raw until 1997.
Is that true?
That is absolutely true. When Sid beat Bret Hart for the WWE Championship, that was the first WWE Championship that changed hands on Monday Night Raw.
I'm trying to think now. It didn't. No, Bret
The,
Hart didn't rush. Bret Hart didn't beat Ric Flair.
that was a house show.
Right.
That was a house show. But they're gonna want a memory.
Yeah.
So what better memory than
They want that first big impression.
Yes.
And the other thing I wanted to get your opinion on was Pac replacing John Moxley, because I've been a little outspoken about it. Why go with somebody that wasn't reliable? While Mitch was kind of on the side of he owes them and he has a good relationship with them.
I mean, there's part of I see them playing to like the inner mark, and the fact that getting people to question if Pac actually meant all those words he said, and when he was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna show AEW," and honestly, I think that's all been a work.
You think they're working the crowd?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking to establish this, the certain, the roles, the archetypes that were, set forth in the Monday Night Wars, and Pac's gonna be that rebel. If it's not Kenny, but I don't see Kenny Omega in that role of like the Steve Austin type character. I see Kenny Omega as more of the Rock type character, the guy who you love to hate but is entertaining as hell.
Right.
But you also have to remember, while Austin didn't exactly have that sparkling personality, he was still fun to watch, and that's what I think Pac is. So in a way, you're really getting a clash between two people who will be two of the most reliable workers in the AEW main event scene down the road.
I personally, I think it's a far stretch to call Pac compare him to Stone Cold. And you could call it possibly a walk between him and what happened with AEW, but that was one of the marquee matches at Double or Nothing with him and Hangman Page, and it fell through a week before the show. So maybe you're right. Maybe they're just working us. But why would they drop one of their biggest matches a week before the show?
New company, you gotta take, radical leaps of faith every
Or
now and then.
Pac didn't want a yob. No yob.
I mean,
I mean, I could see the pack, y'all, because the fact that when Dragon Gate had their biggest show of the year, we wanted to go in strong against like a Dragon Gate guy. And from what I've seen with Pac, he's been loyal to Dragon Gate because that's who gave him his break anyway. So I could see Pac's point of view, as far as like trying to elevate the Dragon Gate championship that he's holding right now. Even at the expense of others, because think about it, AEW's only been out a couple months. Dragon Gate's been out for at least 10 to 15 years, so it can't be that bad.
I get what you're saying, but Dragon Gate isn't gonna be isn't gonna be as watched as AEW is gonna be. I mean, in order to watch Dragon Gate, you would have to legitimately seek it out. Well, WWE is on every other day. Impact Wrestling used to be on once a week, and AEW is going to be on once a week. So, why would you? Yeah, he's trying to be loyal to them, but why wouldn't you want that exposure? Even if you're going to lose. Any comments?
I mean, the thing at this point, I think maybe this is what AEW, wants us to, wants us all scratching our heads and, us being this confused, I'm sticking to my theory that it was all a work.
Alright. That's we'll see if that develops into anything. I'm sure when JR gets fired from AEW, he'll have it on Grillin' JR soon to come.
But he's got Tony Schiavone to rely on, and Excalibur.
And they just announced that they signed Golden Boy.
I need it, so.
Back to what I was saying, the AEW signed Golden Boy. I don't know his actual name. Alex something. It's on the tip of my tongue. Alex Mendez.
Yeah.
So honestly, they have a strong. If they put Golden Boy, Giovanni, and Giovanni, Excalibur, and Golden Boy, I think they have a strong commentators group there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think they're gonna have a strong commentary team. If
True.
I mean, Shivani going from MLW to to AEW, and I mean, as long as Shivani's head is not up his ass,
I don't think so.
Talking about putting butts in seats.
I don't think Shivani's that way, but I will say this: when you said Alex, I thought you was thinking Alex Wright. I thought you was talking about the Wonder Kid.
Yeah, das Wunderkind. Yeah, we dance now.
Das Wonder Kid. It's a best now, y'all.
Jennifer poops at parties.
Well, that would just fuck up AEW completely now, wouldn't it?
But yeah, it can't be that bad. I mean,
October 3rd.
I think they're still.
sale.
Yeah, I think they're still in the mix of trying to figure out who they're gonna put together for what, as far as like a weekly broadcast team and a pay-per-view broadcast team, or even like a pre-show broadcast team.
Right.
So they're still in that mix. Like I don't think they have it solved yet. So they're trying to just sign people to fill it out. Maybe get Shivani to help JR, and then get the other two for the after show or pre-show. So we'll see.
Right. And you know, a lot of the commentators' booths, they have to get their shit together before they match. I'm interested to know who's you guys' favorite commentators as of right now.
Oh, well, obviously, me. I'm my own favorite commentator.
This. You know what? You're absolutely right. That was a stupid question on my part.
And I'm going to be very interested to listen to myself call an AEW match.
And you have a very soft and nice voice, Scooter. I like to hear too.
Smart man. He's a smart man.
The only problem is that we won't be covering AEW pay-per-views.
Yeah, because
they're only come like once every 4 months, so it's not like you're gonna see a monthly pay-per-view.
Yeah, the fact that I don't directly pay the cable bill, so I can't even friggin' PayPal it.
Well, so, your wife is gonna be like, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
What's this $50 shit on my bill?"
That's what I used to do in 2007, 2008, and just get away with it.
You know
what? That's me ordering shit and letting my uncle pay the bill. That's what that sounds like.
Yeah,
we have to do for $9.99.
Yeah, that's a lot. Paying your $9.99 is a lot easier than what AEW is doing right now. And even though even Ring of Honor has jumped on that bandwagon as well.
True, but I think AEW they're gonna have to try to do something to make a profit, and I think they're just stuck in the spot of they gave Britain a good deal on the front end, and now they're kind of trying to get Britain to pay on the back end, and Americans have to pay on the front end, and they're trying to get them back on the back end. So it's like that whole trying to please everyone but pleasing nobody solution.
And they're still losing money as well.
Exactly, because you're going to lose money the first couple of years until it actually gets to a point where it can sustain money. Unless it just comes out like a bat out of hell, and I don't see AEW doing that, because the problem is that their show's on a Wednesday, and not many people are going to go travel on a Wednesday.
Right. And Tony Khan even said they lost a significant amount of money those first two shows, Fire Festival and Fight for the Fallen. And so,
the Fight for the Fallen was a fundraiser show, so I get that. Yeah. I think one of the two were a fundraiser show, so I get they're going to lose money because the money was going to charity. So I'm just trying to figure out as far as all Double or Nothing, All Out, and then from here on out.
Yeah. It will. Something we didn't talk about last week was NXT moving to USA Network and going to 2 hours. Unfortunately, it doesn't sound like a fun time to me. It kind of seems like it's just a dirt WWE product at this point, where it was kind of different and new. And now it's just like the ECW of WWE now.
I mean, Triple H has got to be happy because that's basically what he wanted to be out of NXT anyway. So it pretty much became a third brand once NXT kind of popped the way it did. To me, honestly, I can't see nothing being bad with NXT being 2 hours as long as they're highlighting more wrestlers in the NXT product, and as long as Triple H has his hands on it still. So I can't see anything bad about it because it's getting a developmental. What started out as a developmental is now literally a third brand, and it's streaming revenue that WWE didn't even expect.
And the thing I think about NXT is you're gonna see more of almost that New Japan type of show. Like there's gonna be more like
more independent stuff,
more tournaments. An NXT version of the G1. Stuff
because the King of the Ring certainly wasn't that.
Yeah, but
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I mean, with the fact that NXT, that Triple H now finally has a hopefully complete creative freedom.
We'll see. We thought he had a year or two ago.
And speaking of that first episode, the rumor is something big is planned. Something really big is planned.
Well, yeah, they want to blow AEW.
Start with a bang.
So people don't watch them.
And it looks like they might
pick from the roster.
Put some steam behind Matt Riddle and Goldberg.
Riddle! I would love that because I really don't think they like each other for real.
No,
honestly, I think Goldberg wants to kick his ass for real.
I think Goldberg's tolerating him at this point. If he didn't kill him backstage at SummerSlam, he's never going to.
Yeah, it's only because it's only because of his status, detract from his celebrity status.
I mean, HR would have got on his ass if he killed Matt Riddle. I'm just saying.
Right. And Matt Riddle's a golden boy. Yeah.
Imagine it though. Matt Riddle and Goldberg with William Regal looking on.
Honestly, I don't think it'll happen, but that
wouldn't be nice.
Whoa, I would love that. I hope you're right, but I don't think it'll happen.
Yeah, maybe
I'm not talking about a match.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Scooter?
A confrontation of sorts.
A confrontation leading to a potential
takeover.
Where
God no, Goldberg
where takeovers are gonna include more WWE talent now.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Like Apollo Crews and people who need more airtime and have the quality to be on TV. That's where they're gonna go.
The WWE stars, will essentially all be Goldberg to NXT, making that rare appearance.
Well, that's what do decide for NXT on USA now. Because it's not going to be the Triple H developmental product anymore. It's going to be the Vince McMahon George show on the USA Network show. And
I would argue against that just on the fact that as it's getting there, the XFL is getting closer and closer to getting their television debut. And I think he cares more about that XFL making the first season than NXT lasting, because everyone knows NXT, even if it fails, it'll go back to the WWE network. But the XFL fails, it just fails.
Yeah.
True,
Yeah.
but
And that's why I think Vince will take time out if necessary and give WWE possibly to someone else for just the first season.
I'll never give over the WWE to anybody else.
I think it might happen.
Hey, pal, over my dead body, pal.
No, he's not giving shit up. I'm just saying he might let Paul watch over his little pony for a few months. That's all I'm saying.
You think I'd really let Paul Heyman watch over the whole show?
yeah, Vince hasn't been at the shows as of late, so
well,
just let Paul put it under his nose. It'll be fine.
But he's been rewriting.
He's been cutting up scripts hours before they aired, like on a weekly basis, like for the last few months. It's getting ridiculous. Where the writers have got to be in like. I'm talking about in the last few months. Like on the last hour, he'll write a script after the writers have written it, and then rewrite it himself, and then completely shit on the writers.
Because
it's chaos back there. It's chaos. Okay, then why does he have writers? Then why does he have writers if he's going to do it himself? I don't get it.
Because he wants to be kept, afloat.
He wants
trends like like Tamagotchi and.
Yes, man.
I was just gonna. He wants fluffers, if you know what I mean.
He wants his childhood pet.
Fluffers, you know what I mean.
I love my fluffers. He was
metaphorically and literally. They fluff him socially and with their hand. Yes.
My fluffers was so cute. He could eat a grapefruit for hours.
So you're implying Vince is gay?
No, I'm talking about the dog.
Oh, so he does dogs.
He had a dog named Fluffers.
I'm choking.
Okay, guys.
You're choking?
Yeah,
exactly. Save me, Scooter.
So, let's face it, Vince McMahon isn't going to give up.
Spit the cum out of your mouth, young party boy.
He isn't giving
birthday boy.
control of WWE, now NXT, and now the XFL. Which, me and Scooter already got our rivalry going. The Battle Cats versus the Guardians.
Scooter,
what a stupid friggin' neighbor team.
You opened yourself up for that. You did a gargle thing. What was I to do? What was I to say after
that? Was a choking noise.
It sounded like a gargle to me. Okay,
choke. I said you were choking. Thank God.
Yeah, but I heard you're like with water. Okay, yeah, you got a very saliva-filled mouth then, my guy. I don't know.
Come on, Mitch. You can't bother him for choking. You do it on the show every week. Oh, Barn.
Look who's talking.
Pop me kettle.
No.
Cold-blooded.
So, NXT's on USA channel, AEW's on TNT. This is kind of like a poor man's Monday Night War at this point.
The Wednesday Night Wars.
Yeah.
True, but I would say this, like, as far as like wrestling content on TV, it's probably the best that I've ever seen. As far as this generation.
Followed by it all new silk stockings.
That's my childhood, man. Real quick though, I've been saying I've been wanting this to happen when me and Scooter were watching the dull, like in 2017. I couldn't get through the second hour. I was like passing out in boredom. Seriously, and recently they have done such an amazing job coming. If they didn't have this pressure on them, I don't think they'd be in this situation. I really don't. because it took them a few months. They bungled it, and about in April they started catching on. So
Right.
April or May.
And I've been actually watching Monday Night Raw and SmackDown more often now. Raw is actually watchable. It's decent. SmackDown, on the other hand, for a 2 hour or so, it should be better.
You can see differences. You
in
can see
my
big
opinion.
differences.
I think SmackDown's
Yeah,
getting worse.
I agree. You can. I think you can see Heyman's influence in Raw, and that it makes it Raw better. And I don't know who's leading SmackDown besides Vince right now, but it's very chaotic there. Scripts get rewritten. It's on SmackDown. Yeah, Bischoff, but he's not running it yet.
So, are you saying McMahon
Go ahead.
busted Heyman?
What?
You say McMahon?
I said he's doing.
Heyman?
No, I said Heyman's doing great on Raw. What
was he gentle? Illegal gets it.
I get it now. It took me a second.
He had the
it took me a second.
But yeah,
he breaks
really
backs. That's why he's never had a horse.
You really are kind of seeing the almost Nitro-like quality of SmackDown.
Yeah, I see it too.
With the friggin'
it's a shit show.
Like, oh my god, I'm seeing double for Rowan.
It's a shit show. Yeah. Real quick about that. Did they just pick a janitor off the street with white hair that kind of looked like Rowan to sit next to him for that bit? Is that what they did?
Basically, they basically picked like either an extra.
Because that dude had a lot of white hair. I saw that shit.
You know how many people thought that was friggin' Luke Harper?
I was like, let me see if that is Luke Harper. He's a shaved head and a dyed beard. For a second, I was like, let me look.
We cannot forget the most important thing to come out of this. The fact that Rowan got his first name back.
He did?
That's true.
He's now back to be Eric Rowan.
Congratulations.
Let's see if Apollo or no, that's Cruz. Yeah, he lost Cruz. So
Ali or Andrade get
Ali.
God,
there's a lot more, but yeah.
God, I hope they bring Andrade's first name back. I mean, I always called him Cien Almas.
Oh, Nakamura's just Nakamura right now.
Is he?
No.
I think so.
No,
I thought so.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
I thought they changed that.
No.
Yeah.
The man
Rusev.
Yeah, but
I mean, does Rusev need a first
for a
name?
while? Yeah, but
Alexander was what it was, but it wasn't a good one.
He used it once in the 2014 Rumble.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I don't like it. So it's good. That was one of the few times that was good.
That's what I'm saying. Bring back Antonio Cesaro.
Yeah. Yes.
He's too much of a troublemaker in real life, though, socially. And he's too full of himself. And him and Paul or Triple H do not get along.
Cesaro?
What? Cesaro's one of the sweetest dudes you ever meet in your life.
You know what I'm talking about, right, Scooter?
Yeah.
They have a past. Even if they've said sorries, there's still a past.
You know Cesaro?
Yeah.
Like with China before she passed.
But that actually it brings up an interesting story around Cesaro and an idea I read about Cesaro being the one to win King of the Ring.
Oh my God!
And,
no, Cesaro.
Yeah, and of course
I'm thinking Antonio. I'm thinking Del Rio. What the hell in my
Alberto?
head? I'm thinking Alberto Del Rio. Yeah.
Who the fuck are you, Mitch?
Yeah, I know.
Which, by the way, Andrade's going to win the King of the Ring. They're giving him the Alberto Del Rio treatment. But the whole thing with Cesaro,
King of the Ring, that's maybe where it came from.
He'd be King Cesaro. And He'd stand on the thing, and he would declare it. Hold on, let me finish. He would declare himself, or rather, he would say, "Oh, you must all believe I'm the king of wrestling right now."
Oh my god.
But in reality, there's two of us.
And Chris Hero comes out.
And that's when you hear, "Oh,
Hero.
no."
Oh no!
And boom, the kings are reunited.
I don't think they would do that ever in a million years.
And I don't.
They don't like they don't like Hero, and I don't care if they call him Cassius Ohno. He will always be Chris Hero to me. I hate the Cassius Ohno name. I always will. And there's already a KO. So, but I do know that they gave Cassius Ohno the KO.
I mean, they could team him with Owens. They could be KO no.
Kook? KOOK?
No, that's not a bad idea.
KO no.
No KO.
KO no. I like that. I ain't gonna lie.
These are actually real good ideas, but oh no, unfortunately, he got demoted to NXT UK. So I highly doubt that they're ever going to put him on the main roster.
What's he doing in NXT UK? It's like putting. Let me think of this. Yeah, I can't think of like a something to. Yeah,
it's like putting pineapple on pizza.
Yeah, there you go, something like that. But that's weird. That's a very weird.
It's disgusting.
I don't know why.
It's disgusting.
Why? Maybe Vince, or maybe they just don't like him in the main NXT stable.
They
I don't, because they haven't been pushing him.
They want a stranglehold on him.
They released him else. So obviously, if they let go of him once, they don't, they don't see like superstar in him, or they want to let him go in the first place.
But actually, to transition, I don't know if you guys talked about this last week. Yes. Hello.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys talked about this last week, but the potential of an actual CM Punk return.
Oh, never. Well, I won't say never but
the fact that he actually reached out in interest of hosting a show, a wrestling-related show, for Fox.
Sorry, my audio kicked off.
I mean, he did take a couple bumps in a ring before the Conrad Thompson interview, so he's starting to get the little itch. I'm not saying it's for sure, but it's a lot closer than what it was 3 years ago.
What are we talking about? What I missed?
CM Punk coming back to WWE, possibly?
Never in a million years. He'll be in AEW before WWE.
We said that about Warrior, and eventually he came home. They all
but he will go to AEW before WWE. I'm just saying.
But he's reached out to Fox about hosting, and Fox reached out to him about hosting a wrestling show.
Can I tell you what I think about that? I think he's doing that to get Cody and the Bucks to up his offer. I think it's a play.
It's not Cody and the Bucks that can offer the money.
Okay, Tony Khan. Yeah, well, yeah, it is. They can say this number and then go to Tony. That's what they do, basically. So yes, they can, kind of. If it's the right guy, like they did it with Dean or John Moxley. I'm still getting used to calling him John.
Yeah, Tony's the guy to be like, hey, can I get the money?
But and they did it with Ty Dillinger or Sean Spears.
Moxley and Spears, they didn't ask for exorbitant amounts of money.
But he went and got it done. Like I'm not saying exorbitant amount. I'm just saying a fair amount. But if it's exorbitant, I wouldn't do it either. And that's on Cody if he thinks it's Cody and the Young Bucks and Tony Khan, if they believe that's valuable investment or not and worth it. It's worth the money.
You think of it this way. Okay, so
Because you're
Moxley,
right. You're right, Scooter.
if money was an issue with Moxley, he would have stayed with WWE. He was starved to wrestle. He wanted to compete. So
Yeah.
he went to somewhere he could, and that was AEW. Sean Spears, unfortunately, let's face it, not a big name. They could have got him for cheap. The only guy that is a big name in AEW is Chris Jericho. And honestly, he could have said, like, I want to start this up. I believe in you guys. I'll work for a reduced salary.
Well,
Hey,
real quick. Yeah, but they didn't want to have like brand names. They wanted people that were like superstar quality that people haven't seen yet, and like a fresh perspective. They kind of wanted that, but they needed like a Jericho and a John Moxley.
Well,
and I think more are coming in the pipeline. But yeah.
I mean,
But they needed Jericho to get the TV deal, so because
that helped. Oh, absolutely.
no,
this all goes back.
Yeah, that helped.
This all goes back to one catalyst, though, and AEW does not exist without Jericho wrestling in Japan.
oh,
You're right about that. I'll agree 10,000% on that, Scooter.
1,000,000%. If he's not in Japan, it ain't happening.
Yeah, that would never have happened had he not gone.
So, to my point,
And all these events would not have happened. So one little thing of him going to Japan, a little thing that wouldn't have been seen as a big thing in hindsight, now has changed the wrestling world.
Let Joe finish what he was trying to say.
Sorry. Yeah,
Well,
I just want to say that real quick.
if you think about it, changing the 97 King of the Ring from Triple H, the 96 King of the Ring, from Triple H to Austin didn't seem like that big of a deal until Austin 316 happened. But, to my point, CM Punk is that first guy that they're reaching out to that is definitely a bigger name than Moxley, unfortunately. That is a superstar quality wrestler that wants that big paycheck. That money is important to him. So
I mean, I don't get what you're trying to say, unfortunately, because CM Punk is a bigger name than John Moxley. Like, he is the biggest guy. He is literally like the Kurt Cobain of WWE.
You're never going to hear a Dean Ambrose chant.
Exact. I mean, true. CM Punk is the Kurt Cobain of WWE. So he is the biggest get for anybody. He is the guy that's going to shift the domino one way or another.
Hey, real quick,
but just people don't like it, but that's how it goes with him.
Right, and
I think he's.
Go ahead, finish your thought.
And people are going to flock to AEW if they see CM Punk on AEW TV. Hey, people are going to fucking flock to AEW at that point.
Yeah, you know what I've realized? CM Punk is basically, or Donald Trump. CM Punk is the Donald Trump of wrestling. Everyone hates him, and he gets away with anything, and is still.
He wants to build a wall. He wants to build a wall to keep the Mexicans out of wrestling.
Oh,
I wouldn't go that far.
I just said he wants to.
I say Kurt Cobain.
But what I mean by that is he does anything. He can piss on someone and get away with it, and they love him still.
You know that from personal experience?
I get that point, but I think
thank God I don't know. I haven't been to Russia lately.
The only reason I say that he's a Kurt Cobain because he literally committed suicide to his WWE career on the way out, and everyone was like, "Good for you, CM Punk."
Yeah, but
because like he wasn't gonna take that shit that they were gonna do anyway, and him and Triple H wasn't cool. So when he left, he literally just was like, "I'm not gonna wrestle again, and I'm okay with that." And the crowd was like, "Fuck yeah, we're with you." and they're even to this day they're still like chanting CM Punk every now and then. Maybe not as loud as they used to, but his fucking name is out there. That's why I say Kurt Cobain, because it's like he committed wrestling suicide by taking his ball and going home, and everyone is like, "Fuck yeah, we'll push you to the end."
But there are people who have done worse that are still employed.
That's true.
You know, I don't recall, you know, CM Punk filming a video of him ejaculating on a belt.
Who did that?
Paige.
Oh. Oh. I've seen that, unfortunately.
Okay then. That's a thing.
That's a different Kurt Cobain, Scooter.
Like,
that's a Kurt Cobain move.
Yeah.
I did. CM Punk hasn't got caught filming a threesome with Xavier Woods.
Ew. Nobody needs to see that.
Facts.
CM Punk.
I was going on the lines of Mr. McMahon screwing Bret Hart and killing his brother, and him still coming back to work for him.
Because
of the history.
I mean, eventually Bret realized in the
It's
end,
only giving time its history.
It wasn't Vince that killed him.
No, I'm not saying that, but there was a point where he did kind of feel that way. But
yes, and that's absolutely understandable. But you know, there comes a time when, you know, when Bret realized, you know, that's in the past. You can't really hold that against Vince. You know, Bret, you know, realize he's not Owen, you know, and what would, you know, and he's thinking, and Bret, you know, thought, what would Owen want? Owen would want to, you know, make sure that, you know, fans, you know, were entertained and remember him. You know, unlike
but that hasn't been done.
Unlike friggin', you know, well, I mean, unlike, you know, Martha Hart, who won't friggin' let go and let Owen go into the Hall of Fame, which actually, believe it or not, I actually have a segue onto that about the marquee inductee for WrestleMania 36 for that Hall of Fame.
And that is drum roll.
Well, and it looks like we're going to have again more
already
two-time inductees.
I mean, that makes sense because
it looks
to me
like
they don't want it to be like a dead person's, like, because they only use, like, WrestleMania last year. It was pretty rare that they did like two people that had already died to be on the marquee.
And the marquee, by the way, is the NWO.
Yeah.
That makes sense because they're all alive.
But the guys that they could put in that are still alive, they're going to wait.
Maybe because I don't know because I remember with the WWE Network changing, the way that the tiers are going to work is that they're going to allow people of a certain tier in the network to actually get a vote for the Hall of Fame. So I don't know how that's going to work out with the actual marquee Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? So we got to see how that works out.
That is interesting, and it would be very interesting. I'm not trying to make controversy. I'm not trying to stir the pot. But it'd be very interesting if Chris Benoit won that poll.
They wouldn't put his name on there.
I could. Yeah, I agree with you, but they don't know. I also agree with Scooter. They'll never do it.
Yeah.
I'll never put his name on there.
Well, if they do that kind of poll, but if they do like a write-in poll,
They're not gonna have.
They would black it out, even if
I would,
people wrote it
I
in.
would ask people to put I wouldn't put past people to get the higher tier just to say Chris Benoit or Martin, like straight up.
well,
Against the wishes of everybody.
well,
At least they could do Owen Hart and only deal with minimal blowback.
right.
The only reason they haven't done it is
'Cause
honestly, I think
Mark
out of
Hart.
respect.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, we'll see where it goes. I just want to see how they do it with the tiers first.
Oh,
Because that would be a very interesting proposition.
no.
Giving the crowd like to vote for whoever. And I don't know how they're gonna do it where like they have a list of people off the rip or people are allowed to write in. Because I could see people paying $15 for 1 month just to say Chris Benoit.
Right. And that would be really sucky if they put tiers to the WWE Network. Just for the simple fact that I enjoy the WWE Network the way it is.
Well, if they add more things like all of the wrestling, small indie wrestling promotions that they've acquired, their shows, and other new, like maybe premiere content, maybe the podcast network on there. I don't know, other stuff like the video wise and other stuff. Maybe you just never know.
Well, I remember they did the survey,
the
and they were saying like for the premium content, like they were looking at ideas of like first dibs on tickets to certain shows and stuff like that. So it's not like just content. It's the content and more is what you get.
So it's kind of like PlayStation Plus for PlayStation, how you get rewards.
Yeah, like where if you're paying that much, you're gonna get a say as to who's gonna be in the Hall of Fame, and you get your first dibs on merch and tickets and blah blah.
Gotcha.
So like the Honor Club has, Ring of Honor does.
Kind of, in a sense, because I mean, the $9.99 model is only gonna go for so long. Because if you notice, I think when they updated the software, they got rid of the fact that people could share the WWE network.
Really?
Yeah, because a lot of people were complaining.
Yeah, a lot of there was tons of YouTube videos with matches. Yeah,
you can.
On my end, they did anyway.
You are now allowed a maximum of 2 devices per account.
Well, that kind of sucks. If you have more than
back in the day, yeah, it limited me. Yeah.
Well, it was easy back in the day because it wasn't really.
I had more than one device.
When they're trying to promote that thing as a global network type deal, like a global Netflix, then yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're saying in like this new tier, we could like get first dibs on tickets for a potential WrestleMania 37 meetup?
Yeah, that would make sense because I mean WrestleMania 37 is looking like the favorite's going to be LA if that Vegas stadium's not there. So.
But
SCU.
But it makes no sense as to why they would have like up the price on the network if there was no new content to be sold. They've been buying those promotions in buying their whatever, if they had TV or whatever. So people have been saying that they might be putting them on the network in that premium tier of content.
Well, from what I've seen is they're going to do a free tier where you get only so many minutes. So it's basically a minutes tier with the free.
Okay.
After the $9.99, that's where those rewards would come in play.
Gotcha.
I mean,
okay.
I think there's a simple way they can alleviate, putting this off, and that's taking, Evolve and the other promotions they have
Progress or what? Yeah,
related
whoever
to
the
that,
word. Yeah.
airing their stuff on the network and kind of like renting the space to them.
Yeah.
Take
I think
a
that's
tiny percentage.
that was an idea because they did do that in a filler survey where it's like list the name of like they had a list of programs because I remember I took the survey. It was like a list of programs where you would like to see on the WWE network. They had Progress, New Japan, like they had like Evolve. They had all
New
these
Japan. Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
don't
like
ever do
yeah,
that.
so it's
I don't
not
with New Japan Network or with
it
I don't with
it won't happen, but I mean I mean anything's possible considering that they brought Jushin Thunder Liger for like one night. So like I wouldn't put it past them.
I mean,
I'd be surprised.
State is more it's
But
dismal,
and its quality is top tier though.
Yeah, and they've actually they actually started doing something that no other promotion besides WWE does, and then that's they now pay for hotels.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, pushing other independent wrestling companies to put in extra amenities like that for people like Killer Cross and those who are there's so many stars there that could be instant stars in other territories, and they're very underrated. Like I've said many times, it's just they don't have it. Their TV or whatever you call it is Twitch. So yeah, it's free.
As Scooter calls them, actually no, Mitch, the cam girl of the professional wrestling world.
Yep, they are the cam girl of the professional world, but they're not like they're not thoughts. They're not thoughts. They're the classy ones.
Tim tipped 10 tokens for a bump. 50 tokens for a 2 count.
So they're the Pornhub of professional wrestling.
They're the chatterbait.
$10 for a jump rope with my bra. Yeah. In my bra.
And Mitch just made it dirty.
Stop it.
Touching on something.
Thoughts do that thing.
Touching on something Scooter talked about just briefly about doing a WrestleMania meetup. I'm going to spread a little bit rumor here. You might not have to wait too terribly long for maybe some live action wrestling with entertainment, and I'll just leave it at that. And with that, that's how we will end this episode of this show. If you like us, please subscribe, comment, and like on YouTube and Castbox. It takes literally a second to click that like button, write a little comment on how you like the show, how you don't like the show. We want to try and get better as we progress. And if you want to tell us about your thoughts on the show, you can follow us on Twitter as well. You can follow me at JamesJ993. Where can we find Coleco Yachts?
You can get me at I am Coleco, especially considering that NXT Cardiff and Royal West and all these damn wrestling shows are coming there. We're pretty much ODing, and not to mention football's coming up, so I like to talk a lot of shit about that too.
Are you still trying to get Becky Lynch to reconsider?
Never give up. How to say? Never gonna. Jessica told me never give up. Damn it! So I'm giving it to the end.
Until you get a curb stomp, right?
Yeah. And
either that or my wife finds out. One or the other.
I think she'll do more than a curve stomp on him. Where can we find Mitch Mayhem?
And you can find me at Mitch Mayhem X on Twitter.
And where can we find this birthday boy, Scooter Dust?
You can find me at Scooter Dust. And now, in preparation for the immense, massive scale return of the remix, you can find me as well as my boy Joey Gucciardo reporting on breaking news at WWE on UNB.
Woo! For my co-hosts, Kaliko Yachts, Mitch Mayhem, Scooter Dust, this has been Wrestling with... Entertainment.
Titties!